Introduction. Remembering the kings before the flood. Purpose, sources, and forgotten history. There is a memory older than history. It does not live in archives or museums. It survives in fragments etched into clay tablets, preserved in sacred scripture, embedded in epic poetry, encoded in temple alignments, and whispered through myth across continents and civilizations. Humanity has carried forward a persistent recollection of a time before catastrophe. A world ruled not merely by men, but by beings whose authority descended from the heavens themselves. This was the Antediluvian age, the era before the flood. In Mesopotamia, the Sumerian King List begins with a startling declaration, after kingship descended from heaven. It then records rulers who reigned for tens of thousands of years. In the Hebrew tradition, patriarchs lived for centuries, conversed with divine beings, and walked in a world where heaven and earth were not yet fully separated. The Book of Enoch expands this memory, describing watchers, celestial intelligence who descended to instruct humanity in astronomy, metallurgy, writing, and the hidden arts. In ancient India, the Manas governed entire cycles of time, while the Devas intervened directly in earthly affairs. Indigenous traditions from the Americas, Africa, and Oceania speak of sky ancestors, culture bringers, and luminous rulers who established law and order in a newly formed world. These accounts differ in detail but converge in structure. They describe a world operating under different conditions, rulers connected to celestial authority, extraordinary longevity, advanced or forbidden knowledge, a moral or cosmic imbalance, a catastrophic reset, most often by flood. Modern scholarship has often treated these narratives as symbolic mythology, creative expressions of early humanity attempting to explain nature and power, yet their global recurrence raises a deeper question. What if myth is not merely imagination but compressed memory? What if these traditions preserve echoes of how ancient peoples understood their origins, their rulers, and their relationship to the cosmos? This book does not claim to prove the literal existence of god-kings ruling a catalogically advanced lost civilization. Rather, it proposes something both more careful and more provocative: that early kingship was conceived as a cosmic institution, not a political invention. In the antediluvian worldview, kingship was not created by social contract or military dominance. It was received, it descended. Authority was believed to originate beyond humanity, from heaven, from the gods, from cosmic law itself. The king stood at the axis between realms, a living bridge linking heaven, earth, and humankind. To rule was to maintain order, not merely social order, but cosmic balance. Across cultures, this balance carried different names: Ma'at in Egypt, Artia in Vedic India, divine law in Mesopotamia, covenantal obedience in the Hebrew tradition. Yet the underlying structure was consistent. The ruler functioned as priest and mediator, timekeeper aligned with celestial cycles, guardian of sacred knowledge, embodiment of divine mandate. In this conception, kingship was sacred before it was political. The throne was aligned with the stars before it was defended by armies. The purpose of this work is to examine that shared memory through a comparative lens, by placing ancient sources side by side: Sumerian tablets, biblical genealogies, apocryphal texts, Vedic cosmology, mythic traditions from multiple continents. We can observe recurring patterns that transcend geography. This approach does not flatten cultural differences. Rather, it highlights structural similarities that may point to a deep inherited framework for understanding authority and order. Central to this teaching is the idea that the Antediluvian age represents humanity's memory of proximity to the divine, to extended time, to a cosmos experienced as alive and responsive. In these narratives, heaven and earth are not fully separated. Knowledge flows more freely, lifespans stretch beyond modern limits. Kingship is both privilege and burden, charged with preserving harmony across realms. Yet the antediluvian world is not remembered as flawless. Nearly every tradition preserves a warning. Knowledge is misused, boundaries are crossed, hybrids and giants emerge, kings abandon stewardship for domination. The cosmic institution of rulership fractures under corruption and excess. The flood, whether interpreted as historical event, symbolic purification, or collective trauma, marks the end of one order and the beginning of another. After the waters recede, kingship continues but diminished, lifespan shortened, direct communion fades. Authority becomes increasingly political rather than cosmic. Humanity enters recorded history, carrying fragments of a grander memory. Why does this matter? Because the structure of cosmic kingship has never entirely disappeared.